Team 7 would begin their first C-rank mission, journeying to the land of waves with the bridge builder Tazuna. He needed protection for him to complete his bridge, connecting his small poor island to the mainland to increase its commerce and trade. The bridge builder Tazuna, a scruffy old geezer who always drunk maybe one bottle too many, was far from impressed with the shinobi that was given to him as protection. 3 snot-nosed brats and a wannabe-looking shinobi who seemed like he'd rather do anything else besides be there. But Kakashi would assure the client he was in good hands, well protected, and they were staking their life on this mission. As they left, Sakura would inquire, wondering what they could expect going in the outside for the first time. Would they encounter powerful cursed spirits or shinobi? "That's a good question, Sakura," Kakashi would say. "Typically on a C-rank mission, you won't encounter anything all that dangerous. Maybe a couple of thugs here and there, but never shinobi on shinobi conflict. As for cursed spirits, they gather where negative energy is at its strongest. That's their essence. But the stronger the curse, the less likely you are to see it." "Well, what exactly are the odds?" Tazuna would ask, a bit curious, although he tried to act like he didn't care. "Well, you can break it down into percentages. Of course, you have your weakest cursed spirits. We call those 4th grades. 4th grades? Yes. A 4th grade is the weakest cursed spirit that you'll ever encounter. They're so weak, in fact, that even Genin, such as my students here, could take on a whole bunch of them and have very little problems. Safe to say, you'd have to be a complete novice or a fool to be killed by one. And sometimes that happens. But then you start to move up. Next, you have 3rd grades. They are slightly more common than your 4th grades. They're slightly stronger and require a team and team coordination, but they can be brought down. Then you have your 2nd grades, which can come around about 25% of the time. That's where you need Chunin or shinobi like myself. From 1st grade, special 1st, and beyond, that's where things get rather dire. It takes a longer time for cursed spirits of that magnitude to concentrate, let alone for a regular cursed spirit to even evolve to that level of power. But once they do, that's when you start sending the heavy guns. "Yeah, and what about the strongest?" "The strongest, You mean a special grade?" "Well, it's safe to say there's only a 3% chance that your average shinobi will ever encounter a special grade. Those odds are extremely low, as you can tell, but they're never zero. If we were to ever encounter a special grade, well, my friend, we would have no choice but to run." Hearing that from Kakashi of all people left the kids rather startled. "Huh? You're saying that we would just run if we came across a special grade?" "That's right. I wouldn't even attempt to fight one. Not by myself, of course. You would need at least 3 or 4 Jonin to even try something of that magnitude. And I'm not talking about fresh, wet behind the ears Jonin. I'm talking about Jonin with at least 10 plus years of experience. The only person capable of taking on a special grade one-on-one would be the Hokage. But the Hokage is far more than that. The Hokage is so strong, they could take out maybe 10 special grades all on their own." "Are you serious?" Sasuke and Megumi looked on surprised. The idea that the Hokage, especially theirs, the old man, could take on multiple special grades and not suffer any type of casualty? But, like I said, special grades are very rare, so that's only a hypothetical. It's not like a situation where multiple special grades appearing at once would ever happen. Those cases are rarer than rare. Even more so that a special grade will even exist. They take a long time to manifest, and usually they're destroyed and exorcised before they can ever get to that point. So I assure you, we have nothing to worry about, Mr. Tazuna. Fine, if you say so. As the team would continue on in their journey, on the road they came across a large puddle of water. Sakura would be the first to notice it, although it seemed a bit odd. All around the area was bone dry. It gave no indication that it had rained, and Kakashi knew for a fact that there hadn't been any rain in this area in the last 2 weeks. Both Sasuke and Megami would look to one another, since they already knew. But no one said anything. Megami would lean back, whispering into Sakura's ear. Stick close to the bridge builder. Manji formation. Manji formation? Yes. Stay on the defensive. Stick close to him no matter what. Sakura would nod her head. After the bell test, a form of trust had been built between the three. Sasuke wasn't all the way there. He was still more reserved than ever, but he was willing to open up to the girl. After all, she had staked her life and everything on the line, all so that they could accomplish their goals. He had more than enough of a reason to respect her. Shortly after, just as Megami would have predicted, from out of nowhere, 2 ninjas would appear from the clearing. They both were connected to a large metal gauntlet and chain that wrapped around Kakashi's body. In a split second, their sensei was ripped to shreds. Sakura became paralyzed with fear as she gripped onto her kunai, keeping the bridge builder behind her. From out of nowhere, the 2 ninjas would attempt to claw at the bridge builder, but before they could get the chance, they found themselves being countered by both Megami and Sasuke. The shinobi were easily taken out. As for Kakashi, that was just a fake. It didn't take long for Sakura to see that it was a substitution. The real Kakashi coming out from behind the bush. What the hell? You turned into a log, Tazuna said. Merely substitution jutsu. What? So you mean you hid away while all the fighting was going on? That's kind of cowardly, don't you think? Your kids could have been hurt. Actually, I had the fullest of confidence in my students. Megami, it was very clever of you to get Sakura into formation. How long did you know? Almost immediately. I used my Shikigami toads to search through the area. I was able to confirm that there were multiple life signatures, not just ours, not too far off. Once I was able to confirm it with Sasuke and Sakura, I made sure that she was in position. Position? But why didn't you tell me that we were going to be under attack? No offense, Megami said. But out of all of us, your combat skills are kind of lacking. You're better off playing on the defensive end. If I had told you sooner, you would have been tense. At least now you could be more loose in a way of speaking. I'm sorry I deceived you like that. I just wanted to try to play it out the best way I knew how. Sakura wanted to be mad at this, but Megami had a point. She probably would have gone off the rails. Maybe she would have done something that could have got them compromised. So it was in their best interest to try to keep things on the level. As for Kakashi, after dealing with the mist Chunin that attacked them, he set his eyes on Tazuna, and he wasn't too happy. I get the feeling that we've been lied to. Is there something that you're not telling us, Tazuna? The old man couldn't keep it any longer. He told the truth. The fact was, he wasn't just being targeted by bandits or street thugs. No, there was a price on his head. A gang leader named Gato, the person that pushed him to building the bridge. He was paying no expense to come after him. More than likely, he was going to send shinobi, so he needed shinobi of his own. Of course, Sakura and the others didn't understand what was wrong with this until Kakashi explained. The problem isn't just that he lied. If the mission would have required for shinobi versus shinobi, then we would have charged higher and sent more qualified ninja. More qualified? Sasuke said. We were able to take these guys out. Yes, and it's very impressive. But these are still Chunin. It means that whoever comes next will be higher up than Chunin. Likely a Jonin. Maybe a shinobi from another nation, or one that gone rogue. In either case, this mission is far beyond our parameters. At the bare minimum, we've just escalated to a B-rank mission. A B-rank mission? Now Sakura became a bit more worried. Of course, Tazuna would understand if they wanted to leave. The old man couldn't blame him. We didn't have enough money to hire more qualified shinobi. What I gave you was the best that I could do. But if it's really going to be as bad as you say, I won't jeopardize the children's lives. I'll go back and face whatever happens to me on my own. I'm sorry that I put you through all of this. Of course, upon hearing that, they now felt as though they were stuck in a lose-lose situation. Technically speaking, they could all turn back around and tell the truth, or they could just persist with the mission as normal. But, in doing so, it was only going to make things worse. The kids, surprisingly enough, didn't have a problem. Sure, it was uncool that he had lied to them, but he had his reasons. It wasn't like he was just trying to shorten the bill on purpose. He was in a tough circumstance, and he was doing what he could. Kakashi, even though he had a sinking feeling in his stomach, knew that they couldn't very well just turn around now, so they just have to keep going and keep protecting the bridge builder. Eventually, they would arrive to a loading bay. They would have to go across the waters to where the island was. From there, they'd be in completely different territory. As they approached, a fog mist would begin to envelop them. Kakashi's senses of danger would only continue to escalate. As they made their way, Kakashi would tell them to stay on guard, knowing that things were only going to get worse from here. Sasuke, Megumi, and Sakura would walk together, making sure they surrounded the bridge builder and carried on in their own conversation. So what are your senses telling you now? Sasuke would ask Megumi. Not sure. I'm using my Shikigami rabbits at the moment. I have them fanned out in different directions all around us. If anything were to happen, the rabbits will tell me immediately. What do you think we'll go up against? More than likely, an even stronger ninja. How strong? Sakura would ask. Probably someone on Kakashi-sensei's level, though it'll be hard to tell until it happens. In either case, the best thing we can do is stick together. It's the only way we're going to be able to survive this. As far as cursed spirits goes, I haven't sensed any of them at the moment, though I can tell that the faint traces of cursed energy are getting stronger the closer we get to the village. A village that's been stricken with poverty and grief, Sakura said. The negativity in that area will probably be at an all-time high. They probably have to fend off against cursed spirits on the regular, on top of dealing with mobsters and gangs. It's all just one big mess, Sasuke said. Immediately, Kakashi would tell the team to duck. As they did, a large blade would slash into the tree ahead of them as a large, ominous figure looked down. You were able to anticipate that, the figure said. Color me impressed. that large blade, his headband. Are you Zabuza Momochi? You know of me. I must be famous. In the bingo books you are. Another shinobi. A bingo book? Yeah, Sakura said. The bingo book is where we keep the names of rogue ninja wanted in every nation. Tazuna would feel beads of sweat falling down his head. Rogue shinobi. That can't be good. And you, Kakashi of the Sharingan. I remember you from our time in the war. We were told specifically not to engage with you, though your head fetches a decent price. As Kakashi stepped before the group, he would tell the students to stay close to the bridge builder. An instinct of fear began to overwhelm them. For Sasuke, Megumi, and Sakura, this was no longer just mere training in the village. This was a battle between two shinobi, two elite killers, one taking the life of another. The bloodlust in the air, it felt suffocating, like there was a pressure on their chest that just wouldn't leave. As if there were just this dying need to take their own life, to be done with it. Kakashi would yell to his students to hold on to their resolve, promising that he would not allow them to die. But Zabuza would taunt him. Are you really sure you can keep that promise, Kakashi? Zabuza would prove his point, immediately shifting his focus, appearing before the three. Kakashi immediately jumped in, forcing him on the back foot. As they continued on fighting, Kakashi felt like he was gaining the upper hand. He didn't want this fight to drag out for too long. It had been a while, but he was going to make the most of this. As he prepared to use his special technique, before he even had a chance to, from out of nowhere, a powerful vortex of water would shoot him in the back, as Zabuza would appear behind him. Launching into his technique, he used the water-style water prison jutsu, a suffocating barrier jutsu that would keep Kakashi from being able to use any of his ninjutsu or his cursed energy. Are you impressed, Kakashi? The water prison jutsu, a signature from the mist. The water prison. I can't kill you while you're trapped in there, but you can't wield your ninjutsu or mold your cursed energy. Right now, you're at my mercy. Kakashi recognized this. He immediately would yell to his students to run, as Zabuza would use his other free hand. Using one-handed signs, he would create a water clone. You need to get out of here. Don't worry about me. The water clone can only chase you up to a certain distance. Afterwards, it'll dispel. I'm fine. Zabuza can't kill me while I'm trapped in here. He has to let me go. If you stay, he'll destroy you. Huh? This is bad, Megumi said. Kakashi-sensei's trapped. He needs our help. Yeah, I know. But what are we going to do? Sasuke had to think. If they tried to fight with this man, it would be the end of them. But if they ran, how could they live with themselves? Sasuke started thinking about that night. The night when he lost everything. Everything to him. He remembered that feeling. Wanting to run away. To bury his head in the sand. To forget. But he could never be that person. He would never be that person. Never again. Sasuke would grit his teeth as he ran through a series of hand signs. Sasuke, what are you? Fire style! Fireball Jutsu! A large fireball would shoot towards the water clone, who weaved his own hand signs. Water style! Water wall Jutsu! The fire and the water would clash, before immediately a swarm of Shikigami toads, all of them lunging out their tongues towards the water clone. The water clone would use its blade to slice through the toads, dispelling them with ease. In that split second, Sasuke would emerge as he attempted to use a flurry of taijutsu to try to attack him. But with one hand, the clone would grab him by the throat and slam him to the ground, picking up his blade ready to decapitate him. Immediately, Megami would go charging in, the blade cutting away at another Shikigami toad. In that split moment, Sakura, using a fine rope, would wrap it around Sasuke's leg, tugging with all of her might and some assistance from help of the Shikigamis, pulling Sasuke out of the way as Megami would step in. So, your curse technique, wielding Shikigami. Yeah, and I've got a special one just for you. Come forth, elephant! Immediately, multiple shadows would merge together to form a large Shikigami elephant, its tusk long and jagged, as it began to charge towards the Zabuza clone. Trample and stampede! You think I would fall to a beast like that? In one slash, the elephant would be cut in half and dissipate away from them. As Sasuke staggered back to his feet once again, Megami would fall to one knee himself. You idiot! Why would you try to use the elephant? You know that it's draining on you. Yeah, I thought that I could catch him off guard. Try to get past him. I have to say, you kids are just full of surprises. But in the end, you just don't get it. Do you think that this is a game? Zabuza said. Do you think that we wear these headbands because we play ninja? No. Zabuza proved his point, as the clone would immediately close the distance, kicking away at all of the children. Tazuna would back away in fear as the clone was ready to cut him down, but Sakura would jump forward, grabbing at his arm. He knocked her back without even thinking, in the process grabbing hold of her headband. Weak. You just play ninja, but you're not real ninja. You don't know what it means to kill. To kill? Is that all you have to say? Sasuke said. Sakura! I'm fine. We graduated from the academy. We are ninja. You think you're ninja, but you've never once felt the blood of your enemy on your hands. To see the life drain from someone's eyes. That is the essence of a ninja. To bear your soul to a curse. Do you know why curses exist in this world? It is because of the negativity that humans display. Deep down, we all harbor some sort of darkness. But me, I was born in the darkness. I was conceived in hate. I was born from the hell that is this world. When I became a shinobi, I killed everyone that was close to me. Friends, family, it doesn't matter. In this world, the only thing you can rely on is your own strength. Is that what you did? Sasuke would say angrily. You took the lives of your friends and family? Does it even matter? All I remember was the room being filled with blood. I knew then that I had what it took to survive. And they did not. That's the difference between you and I. You may know many fancy jutsu. You may think yourself powerful. But in the end, you're just brats. You're runts fighting against the inevitability. The fact is, you don't get a happy ending in this world. You get crushed. You get defeated. You get met with the truth. And the truth is, Sakura would go racing towards Zabuza. Zabuza was ready to cut her down once again, and he smacked her away with the blunt end of his blade. But she managed to grab what she needed. Sasuke and Megumi would pick her up, both of them thinking that she was reckless. But as Sakura stood, she held what she wanted. Her headband? Why on earth did she go for that? So, that's what you wanted. You want to feel like you're a ninja? Shut up! Sakura would spit some blood as she tied her headband around her forehead, not on the top. You keep going on and on about being a ninja, saying that we're not ninja. Well, I say, screw you! You don't know anything. You don't know what they've been through, what we've been through. You might have chosen to give in to that crap, but I won't! So why don't you remember this, you freak with no eyebrows? Remember this. The day when the great Zabuza Momochi, the great demon of the mist, the day that the demon got his ass kicked by a bunch of snot-nosed brats, Sakura said with a smile. Zabuza would raise his eye to this. The girl definitely had moxie if it was worth anything. Sasuke, Megumi. Huh? I think I have a way of beating him. But I need you guys to trust me. You really think you can? Megumi would say. You know this is going to be foolish. Yeah, well, Sakura said with a grin. The worst thing that happens is that we die once. But hey, if we survive this, we'll have a really cool story to tell everyone when we get back home. There you go, running your mouth again. You really think that you're going to make it home? Sakura, Megumi, and Sasuke, all of them prepared for battle. And even Zabuza was surprised when the boy's eyes turned from black to red. Those eyes of yours, does that mean you're... Yeah, they're the Uchiha, the strongest of the hidden leaf. And for me, I'm just a girl that likes to come up with plans. And I've got one made special, just for you. This concludes Naruto King of Curses. What if Naruto was a Jujutsu Sorcerer? The Land of Waves arc, Part 3. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow as we continue with Naruto King of Curses. What if Naruto was a Jujutsu Sorcerer? The Land of Waves arc, Part 4. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.